Okay, so I have some interview questions that I'm going to answer here via video because I can't deal with typing out too many long answers to things. It makes me crazy. Alright, so number one, tell us about yourself and the idea behind Datsusara. Well, my name is Chris Odell, and I got the idea for Datsusara when about 5 years ago I was kind of at a crisis point in my life. Just really hated what I was doing for work and didn't know what to do with myself. I read the 4-Hour Work Week, and that was kind of a catalyst for me. Excuse me, text coming in. Catalyst for me uh, coming up with the idea for making a gear bag out of hemp. I basically took two of my loves and put them together. One was hemp. I always thought it was a great material, very underutilized. And mixed martial arts was my other love at the time because that was one thing in my life that was, bringing me a lot of happiness. And so I took those two together and I said, well, okay, look at these crappy synthetic bags that we have for the sport. They're not really designed for the sport and they're kind of terrible. You put sweaty gear in there, they get nasty right away. And so I decided to make one out of hemp with the right kind of pockets and styling for the MMA crowd, and it's just blowing up from there. Now we have a lot of bags and some apparel and different things, and keeps getting bigger. Okay, how have you designed the bags in your line? The first one, I came up with the majority of it. I also had my housemate at the time, Toby Marvin, helped out with some of the design, and we kind of put it together just in a basic, sort of Photoshop graph image, sent it off to manufacturers overseas, and they gave us a prototype. We went through a few rounds and eventually ordered up about 100 of them, and we went from there. Question number 3. Will there be hemp pouches with molle-straps? Not quite too sure what you mean there. Maybe you're talking about, we'd call like the man purses or something here. I know those are popular in Europe where they're kind of like a sling bag that you put over your shoulder, not quite as big as a laptop bag. If that's what you're talking about, yes, there will be. I don't know when, probably very late this year, maybe later than that. We are working on a couple of new smaller bags, but it's going to be some time before they come out. Question number 4. Is there anything interesting brewing that you would care to give us a teaser for? Not much really. I mean, we have the geese are coming out in a few months. They'll be out here. So those were kind of a big deal. We were trying to get those done. Those are 100% hemp geese, primarily for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, other than that, just the sling bag thing that I mentioned, we do want to have some of those eventually for bikers and just for people needing a smaller bag. We will do that, I just don't know when. We have some sports styles coming out too. I haven't told anybody they're actually going to show up yet, so you're the first to know. Those will be out probably in about a month or so. They're just kind of like, small size sports towels made out of 55% hemp, 45% cotton. Pretty nice, breathes well, antibacterial like hemp is and all that. I love number 5. I love the videos in your shop. It really gives you a great insight on how the bags are and how the gi looks. Are they scripted in some way or did you just wing it? No, they're pretty much how I'm going now. I more or less just wing it. With some of the bags, I think especially in the older videos when I didn't know what I was doing as well, I did have kind of a bullet point list of things that I wanted to touch on. But most of the time, I just have a friend grab the camera and I load up the bag and then I just, I walk through it. A lot of times I get it done on the first take. Other times I go, okay, that sort of sucked. Let's just slow down our talking, try to enunciate, that sort of thing. But more or less, I don't follow a script. I'm just putting them there for fun and to help out, and I'm glad to help out. I probably should get a little more professional with them, but yeah, it's it's a functional thing. Okay, number 6. Will we get to see the blooper-reels? Don't lie, we know there are some. There really are not. I mean, the funniest things that happened probably when, my dog, Buddha/Bruiser, that's his nickname, comes through the camera or something, but I just leave that in there because I think it's awesome, and I love seeing him in the videos, so. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy. I don't get mad or cuss when I screw up a line or something. It's nothing too exciting there, sorry. Number 7, first of the silly questions. I've been wondering, how did Skynet, the Terminator-kind, physically build the first Terminators? It was only a computer program. Any insight? I'm guessing it was a factory sort of computer program. Maybe it was making sex dolls or something, and it decided it thought that was some sort of terrible thing, and decided to give them intelligence and give them a few weapons, and I don't know, somebody was abusing their sex doll one day and it just got out of hand. That's a random guess, but good as any, I suppose. And to any computer and robot designers out there, seriously, off switches, gotta have them. Okay, this is the last guy that I interviewed that asked you this. Let's see. Number 9. Have you liked Orc-Byte's page on Facebook? I have not. I will have to go look and see what the heck that is. Sorry, I have no idea. Now you're allowed to ask anything you want to the random person I'm going to interview next. Okay. I will come up with something. I'm going to have to email you that one. Number 10. If you would wake up wearing only sunglasses on a rooftop after a wild night out between Snooki and Jamie from Mythbusters, what has happened? That is a tough one. Something exciting, obviously, though. It could be interesting. I'm sure we were testing some very important parameters of something or other. Snooki frightens me. Jamie from Mythbusters, on the other hand, I'd love to hang out with him and chat about a million things. Maybe he could test our hemp bags for us. I've always wanted him to do that. Number 11. So about the light gear bag. It has only minimal amounts of Datsusara tags. Why is that? Almost all other bags are full of tacky prints and embroideries screaming at you. Don't get me wrong, I like the military style they emit. Do you trust the quality so much that it promotes itself? Yes, I do in a lot of ways. And just for me personally, when I had gear, I'm not getting sponsored by the company, generally that I'm rocking their gear. And half the time, I don't even know who owns the company. Now, in our case, people do know me. They know what I stand for as a general rule. And if they like us, probably they wouldn't mind displaying some bolder logos. And someday we might go with that a little bit. But I've always liked a kind of minimal design. And if you really want a bolder logo, buy a patch, sew it on. I like things to be low-key and not in your face. I like a kind of empty, almost Japanese sort of style. I can think better when things aren't cluttered. So, yeah, I'm just not a big logo guy for the most part. So, we do have a few on there, but I still try to keep them subtle. Number 12, what does self-healing zipper mean? I tried to dig it up on info on that, but I couldn't find anything. It just means it's YKK's deal and their brand out of Japan of zipper. Really expensive for us to use, but we do use them on the bigger zippers because they're very, very hard to break. And even when they come off track, if you kind of move it around a little bit, they tend to self-heal themselves. They come back together, and that's why they call it that. It was hard to find Was it hard to find a producer to actually make the bags, as hemp is such a rare fabric at the moment? Yes, it was hard to find a producer for that. You can find people to make hemp, you can find people to make bags, but putting them together is something that few people do, especially in a bigger context and not just in small batches and artisan bags or something. So yeah, manufacturing is a constant struggle for us, and really the quality is always a constant struggle. I have to constantly tell the factory to keep making things better, to make sure these things don't ever tear or break. Works great. The duffel bags, we almost have 0 returns on those at all. That's the PGB and the LGB. The backpacks, we get returns every now and then. I just replace them, and we're doing our best to keep improving them so that doesn't happen anymore, but it is a challenge. Number 14. Have you heard the funny misconception that using hemp gear can make you give a false positive on a drug test? Sure, we've heard that. We've heard people say, can you smoke it and whatever. No, you can't smoke it. You'd get way sick before you'd ever get even slightly high, because by the time this stuff's processed, there's, 0.0001 THC or something left. So yeah, that's not going to help. Same thing with wearing it. You're not going to absorb enough of any possible active THC that's left on it to do anything to you at all. So it's perfect, and it's legal to bring into countries as far as I know. You can't just import hemp in every country, but you can wear the clothing in any country. No one's going to bug you. 15. Now the word is yours. Promote, brag, tell us anything you want. Da da da. You know, I'm terrible at promoting and/or bragging or advertising. I can't stand marketing and advertising. So really, I need to hire somebody to sit here and tell you how wonderful our gear is. All I can really tell you is that we have a focus on quality and on customer service and keeping people happy. And I think if you talk to anybody that owns one of our bags, they'll tell you what they think of them. And it's been pretty much all positive reviews. I think in 5 years, we've had one guy that was pissed off because he got a bad unit, and he wrote me pages and pages of nasty text before he even attempted to return the thing. And he was just, the guy was in a bad mood. But that's, you know, it's going to happen. And if that's it within 5 years, and we've got a ton of positive reviews, which you can find online, I think we're doing all right, and I think the product does sell itself. I love them. I use them, all of our products. And yeah, that's about it. Just check it out. And I thanks so much to everybody. Really, I don't want to brag or promote. I just want to say thank you so much. Everybody's been so supportive and wonderful. We have the best customers, and I can't say enough to thank everybody for, you know, just being a part of this. And thank you for the interview and for posting this. I hope I'm pronouncing your name. Thank you very much, Jeppe. Is it Jeppe? Jappe? Probably screwing it up either way. But thank you. You have a good day. All the best to everybody out there.